for some, summer really begins when the local pool opens. That's the case this weekend in Crystal with the opening of the Crystal Cove Aquatic Center. But as Rusty Ray reports, their community pool needs a major fix, and it's getting help from the state to do it.
Just days before the squeals and splashes of summer take over at Crystal Cove Aquatic Park, leaf blowers and wrench turning are the order of the day as the pool gets ready for another season starting Saturday.
It serves the communities of Crystal, Robbinsdale, New Hope, Golden Valley, and into Minneapolis. So it really has a regional draw, and it allows those kids in these communities to learn how to swim. We have a very excellent swim program here, and really that's who this pool serves. And it's beyond the city of Crystal, it is the region.
But like just about everything born in the late 1960s, the main pool is starting to show its age.
We monitor how much water we put into the pool, and we've noted the last few years that the amount of water we're using is increasing. So there's clearly a leak somewhere.
The city performed surveys to ask people what should happen. The answer was a resounding call to save a crucial part of summer in the northwest suburbs, so the city will spend at least $3 million, paired with $2.3 million in the state bonding package, to replace the pool container. It may or may not disrupt future summers.
We know it'll start in 2024, whether we close for a year or whether we start at the end of the season and do it fall, spring. Those details are still being worked out.
But this summer is ready to go.
We're very thankful for the state funds to help us keep this regional facility operating into the future.
That is Rusty Ray reporting. Crystal Cove is scheduled to close for the season at the end of August. A pair of new signs along Highway 100 in Brooklyn Center and Robbinsdale are serving as a warning to drivers.
It does help drivers to know where they're going, especially if they're not from the area.
Last month, MnDOT placed large yellow signs along Highway 100 that say, "Right lane, exit only ahead." One is near Humboldt Avenue in Brooklyn Center, and another is near France Avenue in Robbinsdale. MnDOT wants to provide drivers with some guidance that the lane is going to end. So unless they merge safely to the left, they're going to have to exit on the ramp. However, MnDOT officials say that in some cases, drivers use those exit lanes to pass other cars when traffic is heavy.
I don't know that it's a big problem or not. We do know that it's not the safest move to make. And a lot of times, people jump out in front of you. Hopefully people are aware of the traffic around them so it doesn't become an issue.
MnDOT officials say they plan to add similar signage at other locations across the metro in the future. Participating in a triathlon is no easy task, but a Brooklyn Park man and his brother have been training hard for such an event happening this weekend. I had a chance to catch up with them before their big race and share why this triathlon for them carries extra special significance.
Yeah, it's an amazing trail system through here.
When preparing for an event that's as challenging as a triathlon, it helps when you have access to miles of scenic bike trails.
It's a great place to bike for sure.
1 week before the Trinona in Winona, Jeff Tater and his brother Jim are using the Elm Creek Park Reserve as their training ground for the big event.
You're swimming, running, and biking. So obviously, 3 sports, 3 disciplines you have to train. And so it's challenging, certainly.
This is his first time doing it, and I'm pretty proud of him and the fact that he's decided to do this because there's a special reason behind it.
That special reason doesn't have anything to do with crossing something off of a bucket list or saying they achieved this feat while in their 50s, but rather because of what they went through 24 years ago.
When Jim Tater was 12 years old, he was diagnosed with a condition that was deteriorating his kidneys.
We first met the Tater brothers back in 1999.
This fall, I couldn't.
At the time, one of Jim's kidneys was shutting down. That's when Jeff made one of the biggest decisions of his life.
On Tuesday, doctors here at Fairview University Medical Center took a healthy kidney from Jeff and used it to replace Jim's.
It really wasn't a decision to be made. I mean, it's just something that, as a brother.
I mean, I'm not anything special. I mean, you're going to do that. When you get the call, you're going to do it.
Now, after more than 2 decades, and a second kidney transplant for Jim, which came courtesy of a friend.
Okay.
The Tater brothers are ready to tackle this triathlon head on.
Yeah, I think so. It's one of those things. To me, more of a celebration. I look at it as a celebration.
A celebration made possible because of selfless organ donations and the work of talented medical professionals.
Both my transfers were at the University of Minnesota, and as far as I'm concerned, there's no better people anywhere. I mean, that transplant program that they have down there is second to none.
The Tri-Nona in Winona is on Sunday. Brooklyn Center is planning a new mural for one of its municipal liquor stores. It's the first project that's part of the city's public art plan. Brooklyn Center hired local artist Guillermo Valadez to paint a mural at the liquor store at Shingle Creek Crossing. Work on the mural is expected to start this month. Those behind the project say the art could help connect the community.
We wanted to make sure that nature was a part of it, flowers, trees, waterways, colors, what community meant to everybody. We really want this to be a part of the community.
People are putting cultural roots down in the community, and so public art it's a way of doing that, depicting what the community looks like, depicting what the community wants.
Residents can give feedback on what they'd like to see at the mural through an online survey. It closes on Sunday, June 18th.
If you smoked, get scanned. Talk to your doctor or learn more at savedbythescan.org.
People ask, how your children learn how to ride a bike, and you didn't. I didn't teach them. I just created an environment where they taught themselves, and all I had to do was be there.
The Wayzata baseball team made a quick and unexpected exit from the Section 6 4A tournament Thursday, swept in the final two games by Edina. Earlier this week, though, we caught up with one of the team's outstanding juniors.
Riley Leatherman really got serious about pitching a few years ago.
This summer is my first summer, actually. I'm just pitching and pitching alone, but I've been focusing on it since I want to say I've been 14. So it's been a couple of years, 3-4 years.
The junior right-hander was the Trojans' leader on the mound this year. Leatherman was 5-1 with an ERA of under 2. He's sort of a throwback player that his coaches know they can count on in every start.
It's hearkening back to, Tom Scoro and Billy Soul and Andy Johnson and all these pitchers that have come before where you can just give them the ball and they're going to give you 5-6 solid innings. And for the most part, keep those opposing teams from scoring too many runs. Gives a lot of confidence to our offense because they know that they don't have to put up 6-7 runs to win.
Mixing a fastball and slider with an occasional changeup, Riley does his best to keep the batters guessing or swinging and missing.
I think for me, pounding the zone with fastballs, just knowing that guys, my fastballs are kind of hard to hit, I like to believe. So just knowing if I throw strikes with my fastball, I'm going to be good, and then obviously throwing my slider whenever I need to get guys out.
I think what he does really well is he mixes his pitches a lot and he keeps hitters off balance. We know that hitting is timing and pitching is the disruption of timing, and so he's able to keep a lot of his pitches around the zone. Obviously, velocity is always a nice thing, but it's the ability to mix his pitches and keep hitters off balance.
He has honed his game in the summers, playing for the Minnesota MASH Club in Eagan, competing with and against some elite level talent.
I think we have 9 guys going to play Division I baseball, so it's hearing those guys and what helps them is kind of help implementing that into my game. It really helps me a lot. So I'm just going out there when I get to face other guys going to play baseball at the college level and other really good talents. It's always really fun for me.
Riley also played hockey and football up through most of middle school before concentrating solely on baseball.
I really like baseball culture. I really think a lot of guys, just great guys, and it's just easier for me to compete out here on a baseball field versus hockey or football field. So I don't know, I just find it more fun for me.
Still with another year of high school ahead of him, the 17-year-old verbally committed last June to playing college baseball at the University of North Carolina.
So I started talking to him January, February of my sophomore year, and from the first call I just fell in love with the school. Everything they did it the right way. Obviously, it's great academics and a great baseball program. It fit everything I was looking for. And when I went out on a visit out there, it just felt like home to me. So,
as a pitcher, Riley knows there is still more he can work on.
I think the biggest thing for me is just to keep gaining strength and getting stronger. And then also on the mound, obviously, I think I need to get my changeup a little bit more consistent because there's some games where it's really good. There's some games where I spike it like 50 feet. So it's making sure I work on that and get that into a usable pitch.
Riley was a young fan in attendance when Wayzata won the state baseball title at Target Field in 2016. Next year, he'll try to help the Trojans bring another championship home.
The state softball tournament wrapped up on Friday. In Class 4A, Maple Grove was in the tourney for the first time since 2019.
Class 4A softball quarterfinals Thursday morning. It's Farmington facing second-seeded Maple Grove. Bottom two, and Maple Grove's Faith Cry hits one off the glove of the Tigers' second baseman. Jessica Venturella comes around to score, and it's 1-0 Crimson. One of 3 hits in the game for Cry. Tied at 1 in the 5th inning, Maddie Wilm drops a single into right field. Lauren Beitzel comes to the plate and gets around the tag at home to score, and it's 2-1 Grove. And Wilm, the pitcher, ends the game with another strikeout, her 14th of the day, as Maple Grove wins 2-1. After losing in the semifinals, the Crimson bounced back to beat White Bear Lake for 3rd place on Friday. Find more prep sports games and highlights at ccxmedia.org and follow us on social media.